So hello and welcome to a new video. This time I'm playing Diablo 4, the newest season, season 11, when they allow you to like pre-order the new expansion and then you get to play the new class paladin. So paladin is not broken in a way like Spiritbone was released when he was just doing absolute abundance of damage. Paladin is quite well, I would say, balanced. I don't know how far off he is from the other classes, but playing the Paladin is quite nice, I would say. I'm playing like a basic attack brandish build because I didn't want to play around with the resources and so on. So probably that's not the best build, but I'm having a lot of fun with it because there's no management of like your mana or like fate. I think that's how it's called on Paladin. So I can just spam my skill. It does the damage. It has like a decent AOE. It does like a boomerang skills that that do the damage, and pretty. I would say up to now I'm still pushing the pit a little bit and getting my gear. It's quite well. I'm not the content creator of this build. I think it's made by Woody Joe from the Max Roll. I will leave the link to the build guide to the Max Roll in the video description, so you can check it out and the bits and pieces. If you're interested in the build, I would just give you a very basic TLDR. The build is quite great. I would say there's only two major downsides. One is that you have to keep up with the stacks of the Arbiter, so you look like a small Archangel and it stacks to 10 stacks, and you have to spam like your movement skill and the condemn that's pulling the monsters to you. Like generally you do that by simply playing the game, but you have to rotate those skills quite often unless you get enough cooldown reduction. Then you pretty much you don't care about that because you're just gonna be spamming the skills. But early on you have to keep on the rotation to keep up the damage, because there's that's a quite significant amount of damage if you don't have those stacks. So that's like the one downside, and the other downside is maybe probably the skill that I'm playing, the brandish, is not like the most freaking meta and the biggest amount of damage or like AoE, but overall it does everything quite well. So that's that's two I would say the downsides of the skills, because otherwise the build doesn't have too much like to complain about. That overall is like a great build. I would really appreciate it if you can like the video and subscribe to my channel. This really helps me out growing the channel. Thank you. So leveling the Paladin from the start is a little bit rough, I would say. He doesn't have the greatest AoE, the greatest damage, and then you have like the problem with your resources. So it's a little bit miserable, I would say, the early on, until you get to this aura. Once you put 5 points in that aura, you're just gonna be like walking around and you're gonna be pretty much killing most of like the minor white monsters and like the blue ones, because it has that aura has a reasonably good damage early on in the game, and something that I would actually recommend you doing. So if you get this far in the video, thank you for watching. I will see you later.